You know that feeling when you wake up one day and realize you've been living life on autopilot? Today, we're diving into why your best life doesn't happen by accident and how intentional living can transform your future.
And it's fascinating because research shows that people who live intentionally don't just feel better, they actually live longer and experience better sleep, more happiness, and less loneliness.
Wait, really? Living intentionally affects physical health too?
Absolutely. A 2021 study by Eric Kim and colleagues found that people with a clear sense of purpose, which comes from living intentionally, have measurably better health outcomes.
That's incredible. So what's the difference between living intentionally and just, well, living?
Well, think about it like this. There's accidental success and intentional success. You know the pet rock phenomenon from the 1970s?
Wasn't that some kind of weird fad?
Exactly. The creator Gary Dahl became a millionaire selling ordinary rocks as pets. Classic accidental success, but once the novelty wore off, he couldn't replicate it.
So accidental success is basically just getting lucky?
Pretty much. It's like stumbling upon treasure while wandering aimlessly. Sure, you got the treasure, but you can't tell someone else how to find it.
And I'm guessing intentional success is the opposite?
Exactly. Research by Mark Connor and Peter Norman in 2022 showed that setting specific intentions about when, where, and how to pursue goals significantly improves achievement rates.
That makes sense. It's like having a map versus just wandering around hoping to find your destination.
And here's what's really interesting. Studies show that when we set clear, achievable intentions, we actually get more satisfaction when we exceed those goals.
Oh, is that why checking things off a to-do list feels so good?
Exactly. Research shows dopamine levels increase whenever you set and accomplish goals, even small ones. Just crossing items off your to-do list triggers that reward response.
So our brains are literally wired to reward intentional behavior?
Yes, and it goes even deeper. Psychology Today reports that setting intentions shapes our emotional experiences in profound ways.
How so?
Well, when we live intentionally, we're essentially training ourselves to focus on what matters most. This creates a feedback loop of positive emotions and achievement.
But isn't there something to be said for spontaneity? Like, doesn't too much planning take the joy out of life?
That's a common misconception. Living intentionally doesn't mean planning every minute. It means being clear about your values and direction.
Ah, so it's more about the big picture than the daily details?
Exactly. And research shows that people who engage with their goals this way actually report higher levels of emotional intelligence and better decision-making skills.
So how do we actually create this blueprint for intentional living?
Well, recent studies outline several key steps. First, you need to assess your current situation. Honestly evaluate where you are right now.
That sounds potentially uncomfortable.
It can be, but it's crucial. You can't plot a course if you don't know your starting point.
Okay, so we know where we are, then what?
Then you identify your values and set clear goals aligned with those values. Research shows this alignment is key for emotional well-being.
And I'm guessing these aren't just vague wishes like, be happier.
No, they need to be specific and measurable. Studies show that well-defined goals enhance both performance and satisfaction.
Can you give an example?
Sure. There was this managing partner of a Fortune 500 company who tracked every workout, every calorie burned, every mile run throughout the year.
That seems intense.
But here's the key. He wasn't just tracking work goals. He applied intentional behavior to all aspects of his life.
So it's about creating a complete life blueprint, not just a career plan?
Exactly. Research shows that the most successful people are intentional in multiple life areas: health, relationships, personal growth, not just work.
But how do you maintain that level of intention without burning out?
That's where the research on self-determination comes in. Studies show it's about building sustainable systems, not just willpower.
Systems over willpower. Tell me more about that.
Well, as business strategist Michael Gerber says, systems permit ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results predictably.
That's fascinating. So it's not about being superhuman.
Not at all. It's about creating routines and habits that make intentional living your default mode.
But what happens when life throws you curveballs? How do you stay intentional then?
That's actually where intentional living becomes most valuable. Research shows people with clear goals and systems adapt better to unexpected changes.
Really? How does that work?
When you have a clear sense of your values and priorities, you can make better decisions even in crisis. It's like having a compass during a storm.
That makes sense. But isn't there a risk of becoming too rigid?
Actually, studies show the opposite. People who live intentionally often demonstrate more flexibility because they're clear about what matters most.
So intentional living actually helps you be more adaptable?
Exactly. It's about having strong roots that allow you to bend without breaking when life gets stormy.
This reminds me of something interesting about human development.
What's that?
Research shows that understanding accidents, not intentions, is what actually drives developmental change in human behavior.
That's fascinating. So we develop by learning what's not intentional?
Exactly. It's like we need to understand what random looks like to appreciate what's intentional.
That adds another layer to why intentional living is so powerful. It's actually working with our natural development.
So what's the first step someone should take to start living more intentionally?
Research suggests starting with a simple self-assessment. Just ask yourself, what areas of my life feel like they're on autopilot?
That seems doable. And then?
Then pick one area and set a clear, measurable intention. Remember, studies show even small intentional actions can trigger that positive dopamine response.
So we're building momentum through small wins?
Exactly. It's about progress, not perfection. Each intentional choice builds the foundation for your best life.
Well, this has been incredibly enlightening. Any final thoughts for our listeners?
Yes. Remember that your best life isn't waiting to be discovered, it's waiting to be created. And that creation happens one intentional choice at a time.
Remember, life might be unpredictable, but your response to it doesn't have to be. Your blueprint for success starts with your next intentional choice.